Hey everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 11 in VR. I am Bill. Once again, thanks to Newegg for the Oculus so I can do some of these videos. It's amazing. So I'm in the Beechcraft Baron twin engine plane. This is one of the default planes in X-Plane. And it's not the best looking plane. The default 172 is a much better looking plane texture wise, but this plane is still pretty fantastic. So gonna do just like a quick little flight just to get some experience in a twin engine plane in VR. So one thing I didn't show you in the first couple of videos I did in VR is one, the manipulation of the doors. You got the windows, but of course you can just reach out and open the door. And in the same way you can warp around in the hangar, you can look outside, hold down the stick, and you should be able to, reach out, and it was just doing it. Come on, there you go. Reach out and go outside, and using the same kind of stick functionality with the little red arrow, you can kind of flip it around, and there's the plane, just full life size. So you can go right up to the engine, look at the props, look at the gear. Everything look okay with the gear. So you can basically simulate, doing a pre-flight check. So you can come around the other side of the wing, check the control surfaces. Looks good. Let's go over here. See inside. I mean, it's just so freaking cool. Let's look at the tail. Tail section looks good. Wow. Super cool. And then all you got to do is just go into the menu and get in pilot seat, and we're good. So let's reach over there and get that shut. I need to kind of reorient myself. That's one thing, is when you're in VR, it's really easy to get screwed up and take your headset off and realize that you're facing a completely different way than you originally thought. Okay, so let's get this homie started. So let's get on battery. Let's get on the alternators. I'm gonna start with engine number 2. I did a flight earlier, and the engine, it said it was started. It was simulated that it was actually running, but the prop was not moving. So let's go over to start. That looks good, and sounds amazing too. Okay, so now let's get engine 1 started here. Good. 2 good starts. Let's get the prop sync on, avionics on. Okay, so now let's check manifold pressure. We'll let those warm up. RPM, we got the props low. Temperatures not coming up yet. See the right one's coming up. Oil pressure and temps look good. So those all look good. Okay, so I am at a very desolate looking Fullerton. This is obviously not what it looks like in real life. I've got all the world objects turned low just to help the frame rates. It's not ideal, and it's probably the biggest drawback of VR is it's so intensive that you do have to have the settings down pretty low. But once you're in the air, if you have an ortho scenery installed, it really doesn't matter. It's only when you're on the ground that it looks really stupid. It's unfortunate, but it is necessary. So the only thing that I have noticed, not the only thing, but the main thing that I've noticed that I do not like about this particular plane in VR is these are not locked together. They're separate. So I can't move them both up and down at the same time. The throttle I can. So that's one, if it's on the outside of the quadrant. And if it's on the inside one, it moves both of them at the same time. I can't do that with the mixture or the prop. So I gotta do those separately. Okay, so I'm gonna do a really quick flight. That should be good. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do a quick flight from Fullerton, and I'm gonna go to, what would be a good place to go to that be quick but not too quick? Could go to John Wayne, but I think I'm gonna go to Chino or Corona. We'll see when we're up in the air. Let's get the brake off. Okay. Doing good. I don't know how well that sound is coming through for you guys, but it's stereo. I mean, I get both engines in both ears, and it's awesome. It sounds really cool. I'm going to do just a quick run up just to get a sense for the sound. Now, it's really loud in my ears, so I'm not going to talk so I can listen to the RPM drop. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay as well, but let's... Okay. And let's go right engine. Good. Good. Okay, both of those are good. So let's go mixture full lean. Let's go props. Hang back a little bit. Let's go one notch of flaps. Prop is a little out of sync. Okay. Let's do it to it. Okay, and clear to the right. Clear to the left. This is gonna sound so cool. And we're full. Airspeed alive. There's 60. This thing is terrible on the ground. This happened to me earlier too. rotate just enough runway. Flaps up. Gear up. So yeah, scenery looks terrible, but it'll start looking nice here in a second. Get my touch controller going here. There we go. I do like flying with the controllers actually. I thought that I would prefer the actual stick, but I prefer doing this. It's way easier to control. So again, for VR purposes, in a twin engine plane, being able to manipulate the prop and the mixture together would be huge without having to go to a key binding. So that's annoying. The throttle's good on this. The sound is fantastic. I've got the right engine in my right ear, left engine in my left ear. So if I hold that down, I can hear it in my right ear, which is really cool. Yeah, this cockpit is definitely not as good as the Cessna. So if you get up close, you can see that these dials are actually 2D. They're not 3D needles in there, which isn't a huge deal, but when you get closer, you can tell. It's not as good as the Cessna. For flying purposes, though, it's totally fine. And in fact, it might be a little bit better because those numbers are easier to read. There's no reflection on the dials, so it's a little bit easier from that perspective. It just doesn't look as nice, but still really cool. And it feels like I'm flying on a day like this. It really is cool. And as you can see, like the higher you get, I'm at 2,300 feet. It looks pretty good from up here. And if you have a ortho scenery for a location you're familiar with, it's much easier to fly VFR when you've got the actual landmarks to look at. So if you gotta fly over a school, or the final approach is over a marina or a stadium or something, you can easily see it. So I highly recommend ortho scenery with world objects on low or none when you're flying in VR, because it adds a lot to it. When you're flying in an area without an ortho scenery, with no world objects, you can't tell where you are. There's nothing there's no landmarks to tell what's happening. So that is an absolute must if you're flying in VR. Get an ortho scenery. It doesn't have to be high res. This is, I think, medium, and when you're at 3,000 feet, it looks pretty cool. Let's take a look at ourselves from the outside as we're flying here. Let's do this one. Oh, I love the graphical tweak outs. That is too cool. Will this move? Yeah, I'm still in control of it. That's cool. Okay, so there is Chino, right over there. Corona is right ahead of us. So let's pick one of these guys to land at. Let's do... Actually, let's see if we can land at Ontario. That's not much further out. That's a nice big runway too for me to practice my landing. I'm a little bit worried about the twin engine because I don't have like full control over these. I'm going to be out of sync inevitably. But let's see how it goes. Chino Hills Airport, that's the one right out in front of us. Man, those mountains are starting to come in and look really, really cool. Okay, so we're getting close. Let's get our landing lights. Where is it? Let's land. Start pulling back the power a little bit. Manifold pressure 15 looks good. Let's pull props. Whoop. No. Props. There you go. Let's get that to 22,000. So I'm just going to fly perpendicular to Ontario, and once I've got it over my right, I'll just turn on to it. So it goes down a little bit more. 22. Should be good right there. Okay. And we'll go back. And there's the ortho cutoff right there. So that's what it should look like, and that's what it looks like with no scenery stuff. It looks really gross. Okay, just throw a little fast here. This is going to be a real short final. Flaps. Let's put the gear down. Alright, looks good. Getting close here. Go on the right. See, you could not do that in 2D. To be able to have the spatial awareness to turn onto final like that, that was too good. That never ever happens. I feel like I'm always overshooting or undershooting, if that's a thing. A little bit low. Let's go full flaps. Those balloons right up. Full flaps, look at that, nice. Okay. Alright, got a little out of shape there, but let's see how smooth this can be. Center line looks good. Power back. And we're down. Let's get the stick so I got a rudder. That was pretty good. Slowly get the brake on. Wow. Well, that went really well, and that was a perfect example, I think, of a landing that was made better with VR. No question about it. I would not have been able to fly that pattern in that manner if we were not in VR. That was too good. Oh, that sounds so cool. Alright, let's check out the replay of it. So let's go. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna do a couple of replays on this and show you kind of a funny trick in VR here. So okay, I'm sitting in my desk chair. I don't have one of those fancy cool gaming ones, but it's just a regular desk chair. So if I go to unpause this and I'm in this view, I can freely look around just like you would normally, but if I stood up, I am now outside of the plane and I can watch the landing from like a GoPro view or something. Oh man, that is trippy. And sit back down and I'm inside again. Okay, so let's go to replay. Let's go. Pause it. Yeah, so I mean, like, it is super freaking weird to be able to do that. Let's go to a outside view. Let's go do maybe circle. Should be good right there. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let's see how this landing was. Float a little bit, and there it goes. Sweet, that was nice. That was really nice. That looks cool. So I can look at the plane, look back at the runway. Touchdown. Super nice landing. Okay, let's get this thing shut down. It's kind of cool to turn it off. So let's get the avionics off, drop sync off, kill them, and let's get all the lights off. Boom, 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 boom. That is so satisfying doing that. Awesome, guys. Well, again, thank you for watching my X-Plane in VR video. This is so fun. It's unbelievable. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Again, thanks to Newegg for the Oculus Rift to be able to test this out. I definitely going to have to pick one up on my own. And a lot of that will be based on the feedback of these videos. So if you like the VR videos, please tell me in the description what you think of it. The more comments I have, love it, want to see more, will definitely make it an easier decision to get one of these. So, alright guys, well that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.